What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. We got some trap powered duels for you guys to check out. These are going to be duels that both use Artifact Sanctum. Artifact Sanctum into Artifact Scythe is starting to become more and more popular. We saw at the ARG where Salamangreats debuted. There were a couple of players in the top 16 using this engine, and I had previously seen it being played in like Trickstars because we know that Trickstars don't run, their engine isn't really that big, so they can afford to run a whole bunch of things. But you can combine Trap Trick, and you can also get Artifact Sanctums from your deck. Heck, even Johnny Wynn, Asian Persuasion 2008, he did this in top 8 at a regional with Cosmos. So I kind of feel like this is starting to catch on and become a very legitimate thing. And obviously in the Lair of Darkness deck, you can use the Lilith effect to pull your Sanctums from your deck as well. So it just kind of makes even more sense in this deck. And Sanctum is good against basically everything in the meta that's not one of the super anti-meta control decks like Guru Control or Altergeist, because they don't really use their extra deck all that much. Now I feel like I don't know all the combos with ABC, but I have seen the combos, and I know if you open, I believe it's like a 2 or 3 card combo where if you open with like Union Hanger plus like one of the other monsters, I believe you're supposed to be able to end with Nightmare Griffin, something else, and then also a Buster Dragon. I think this guy like did the play wrong or something like that, but as they say, this ain't it, Chief. He definitely screwed this up. I mean, he's getting his card by the grave back, and that's fine. I'm just pretty sure that you're supposed to have an additional monster as well, not just the Nightmare Phoenix and the ABC Buster Dragon. Also, I'm just not a big fan of ever giving my opponents monsters from Summon Sorcerers. I just don't like giving people monsters in general, because things like this can actually happen where your opponent Monster Reborns your Ash Blossom and then makes Phantom Knights of Brainsword randomly. But yeah, stuff like that happens when you give them free monsters on the board. Salamangreats have a lot of level 3s as well, so you don't want your opponent making, Stalio using a monster you gave them. Now, the Break Sword did get banished, but it's you having to use the card in your hand to basically take care of a monster your opponent gave you. Anyways, Artifact Scythe during the ABC player's turn gonna shut down any Buster Dragons from coming out to play. He's also going to get that's the oh man, I'm forgetting what the name is, the Lair of Darkness on field. And as long as you can keep tributing, it's a little bit of an arduous process because you're only getting one monster off the field at a time, but it can be pretty good. He's going to go ahead and he's going to use Heavy Storm Duster, and I believe that Call by the Grave was chained, but that's not going to find its mark because the copies of Back to the Front, like, that's pretty staple in any Lair of Darkness deck. Also, bringing back the artifacts makes sense. Johnny Wynn, Asian Persuasion, also ran this engine in his deck as well, because you can do that play right there. You can just bring back an artifact from your graveyard, and it just gives you like another kind of stun play against your opponent. And Cosmos has always been pretty good. He's going to start putting things in attack mode, tributing. I think, well, he cannot tribute the B Buster Draco on field because it was unaffected. And even when his opponent gets that nice Ash Blossom to counter the Artifact Sanctum, he can still simply bring back Scythe from his graveyard. So as soon as one of your copies of Scythe dies, you can just constantly use Back to the Front over and over again, and you can just recycle the card. And these decks do run 3 copies of Back to the Front, so it's something that they should be able to see early and often. Also, Lilith is just pulling copies of the card from the deck. I don't know if you need Backjack. Feel like you're maybe running too many cards that are just kind of revolving around traps. He is using I believe it's Ballista Squad. Ballista Squad is a card that you tribute a monster, and then you get to blow up a card your opponent controls. But if you have Lair of Darkness, then you basically just get rid of 2 of your opponent's cards. Now he is finally going to get some offense because he has Darkest Diablos on board. But this is going to be interesting because of those tokens. The ABC player is actually not out of this duel. I was surprised by this. He's going to go Gold Gadget, Heavy Storm Duster to pop, a couple spells and traps. Can't do anything about that. He's going to go for Underclock Taker and drop Buster Dragon at the same time. And now, I mean, he's actually still somehow in this game. He's going to use Metaverse to get another copy of Lair of Darkness on field. He does use the effect to kind of cut down the artifact Scythe. And now it's like, dude, if he can find a way to just get the Diablos on field, he's actually back in this duel. I believe that Nightmare Cerberus is going to be used here, but you obviously are never going to be able to hit a Buster Dragon. He's just going to tag it out to get those ABC pieces, and 4 monsters on board. Now Deco Talker is oddly effective in this situation because it was linked to so many monsters and the token as well. Pot of Desire's top deck, he does not get good draws here. That was unfortunate. Goes for Nightmare Phoenix. I thought that was, I don't know, that was just weird. He knows that he has the protection effect. He's going to summon Buster Dragon, which is also fine. The problem is, instead of attacking the token to at least get that off the field, he just tries to banish the Deco Talker, and Deco Talker's like, fine, I'll just give the token up. Like, this guy is trolling. At the very least, he could have made him give up the Darkest Diablo. So I feel like he would have probably been able to run that back had he not just had, 2 brain farts in a row. Second duel is going to be a little quicker. This is Traptrix, and it's playing against Black Wings. Traptrix gets to go first, 4 back row, and Kaiju on Tessera would usually be really good if your opponent didn't have Artifact Sanctum, because now you can't use your extra deck, and you got to kill your own Kaiju, so that's a problem. He was expecting hand traps with the Called by the Graves. He was not expecting death to come from the deck. That is a problem. This is also another reason Sanctum's good. It's kind of in place of you running hand traps. You then just you essentially are saying, I don't want to hand trap you, I just want to turn off your extra deck. He can use things like Gale, which got hit by Traptrix, Trap on Nightmare, but now the Traptrix player has these huge monsters on board, and these monsters, well, the Kaiju was at least, that was given to him by the Blackwing player. I believe that he does have to pretty much make his last stand here. Monster Reborn for Gale, maybe he can shrink the Radion. But nope, that's not going to happen. He's having another turn with just no extra deck. This is just so annoying, man. I feel like this engine, like you're seeing it right here, and even though he has Called by the Grave, it's far too late. Like, the Scythe effect is already online. It's resolved. Like, locking your opponent out of multiple turns, even a deck like Traptrix can just wreck you. He has the Regeki. He can just activate the Regeki, easily be able to attack for game. Does not do that. I would have, because you never know. There could be like collude. I believe he knows his opponent's hand, but I would not even give my opponent that opportunity, especially if I have Regeki. Like, just go ahead and play it. Final duel. This is going to be against the Spiral Phantasm deck. Spiral Phantasm, this was a weird hand. I didn't know what he was playing. I thought it was Troll at first. I'm like, bro, who even plays Hidden Armory? That card is one that never really sees play in Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's okay because, this is a deck that really doesn't normal summon that much. You kind of play during your opponent's turn, a la Dark Magician. But this is, I don't know. You would think that, like, this matchup would be fairly good for Spiral Phantasm, but it's actually not. And the reason that it's not is because this Traptrix Myrmilio can just be summoned from your deck. You can constantly out the Phantasm or the Pacifist, and he's getting like some pluses here, but he just actually cannot stop these Myrmilios from coming from the deck. He's gonna put a couple of equips on. I would never attack in the 4 back row if you're playing against Traptrix. They actually play battle traps because Sarah is too damn little. They have to protect her. She's only 800 attack. He is getting his Peleos from the graveyard, and he is getting some pluses from Pacifist. The problem is he has to fight through all of this back row, and usually, the Phantasm Spiral deck is the one making you fight through all their traps. But against Traptrix, the word trap is in the name, so it's going to be difficult. He's able to kill Sarah, but it's not going to matter. He has 3 Traptrix on field. He can turn any of them 4 on field, any of them into a copy of Sarah. He says, no cap, I'm just going to go ahead and put this guy out of his misery. I'll just go for Boral Sword Dragon, and actually he does not end the game with Boral Sword Dragon. There it is again, guys. I call it the Boral Sword math. It will lose you the duel. Can this guy come back with no cards in hand? I believe he can pull off the 300 life point comeback. Oh wait, nope, Cowboy for game. Welcome back to 2014. Oh man, I love Cowboys for Games. That's actually one of the main reasons why I uploaded this duel. I was like, whoa, we got a Cowboy for Games sighting. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those short duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.